Yeah, I hopped on and then I heard a crying child.
Oh, I don't even worry about it. I heard my child run behind the door saying potty potty. It was really great. Okay, everybody, it is time. It is Sunday night, March 22nd, and welcome to the Team Victory All-Star Sunday Night Team Party. And I'm going to kick everybody's butt if you do not remind me to do a screenshot this week, because last week we forgot and it really was upsetting. And we need to have Brianne in our screenshot because that is the most fun at the end. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest. Since I'm like sitting back, drinking my coffee, I've got my notebook. I love having guests on because then I don't have to talk. Our special guest, Brianne, is a... Oh, Christine, I know. Christine, I gotta say hi to you next week. Okay. Our special guest, sorry, I got distracted by the chat, is a rock star in my mind. She is an elite coach, has been a coach for only a couple years, you guys. So she is that person that, hello, it's possible. If you look at me and you go, okay, it took me forever. Yeah, it'll probably take me forever. But if you look at her, you know it is absolutely possible to set your goals, to hit your goals, to be an amazing coach in such a short period of time. So Brianne's going to share with us a little bit about her journey and about how to really make it happen, you guys. So please, please, please take notes. And I want you all to go back on the team page and actually post up now and tell everybody that you're in here, because we're a little short right now. Get people on this call, because this is one of those calls that you don't want to miss. So, Brianne, thank you for being on our call, our little Zoom
Thank you for
party.
having
And I
me.
want to thank you again for having me on your call. That was super fun. I didn't have to dress up because it was a call, and I had a whole lot of fun sharing my story. As my team knows, I get really passionate and I start talking really excited and loud. So I thank you for asking me to be on your call. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you and your tips. And I'm ready to take notes as well, because I always love to learn from other coaches. You know, every day we grow. There's only a few people that get this right now. Every day we grow, every day we plan, every day we connect, every day we follow up, and every day we track. So we are growing tonight on this call. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you. I'm going to pin you to here so that, and mute everybody. I'm going to unmute you in a second here. I'm going to make sure everybody else is muted. And I'm going to unmute you, and then I'm going to pin you so that you have the stage. All right, go ahead and share with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And thank you for being on our call, because I felt like my coaches couldn't say enough nice things after you got off the call the other night. It's so nice to just get fresh perspectives, and it's nice to have guest speakers on. And, it's really nice that no matter what team we're on, everybody's always willing to help out, everybody else's teams. And to me, I think, that really explains a lot about what we're about, as a company and as a network. I think it's really great. So hi guys, because I know that most of you probably don't know who I am. So like Anna said, I'm Brianne. I am a 5-star elite. I signed up in January of 2013, the very end of January. I really started working my business like in March of that year. So a really quick story about how I signed up. My mom actually was the one who sponsored me. She had gone to IIN for health coaching, and her mentor at IIN was a Beachbody coach, and had said to her, Shakeology is fantastic and you have to drink it. And my mom was like, this is great. I can sell this to all the clients that I trade. My mom is a personal trainer. So, now she's a health coach too. So she signed up, probably it was like the fall of 2012. And, she had said to me, you should try this stuff. I just started drinking it. It's called Shakeology. And I kind of like looked at the bag and I was like, no, it's not for me. she was like, no, it's really good. It's got all these vitamins and all this, and all this nutrition and all this stuff in it and blah, blah, blah. You really should try to drink it. And I was like, no, I chew my food. I'm good with my coffee. Like I'm good. I was like the customer that we all can't stand. I wanted nothing to do with it. And as soon as she told me how great it was, the first question I asked her was, how much does it cost? And at the time it was $120. And I was like, that's ridiculous. Who would spend that much money for shakes? And, she had pointed out that I just came from Starbucks and had a $7 latte in my hand. So that kind of like cut me down real quick. So it took her a while to wear me down. I eventually did try it. And she, of course, had to give me a big fat "I told you so" when I had said how good it was. And after a couple of weeks of drinking it, obviously, we all get that feeling of how good our body feels once we start drinking Shakeology. And I'm like, wow, this stuff, there really is something to this. I, would love to stay on this, but we really couldn't afford it. The year before, my husband had been out of work for 3 months. He got hurt, and our disability was just enough to keep, our mortgage paid. Everything went back on credit cards. We were like broke as a joke. So we really had no extra money. So she was like, well, why don't you just sign up and get the discount on Shakeology? And my mom was a brand new coach. She didn't know anything about it. So I went on the website and signed up for $40. No challenge pack, no nothing. I signed up for $40. I bought another bag of Shakeology. I bought a whole bunch of other stuff. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this. Like, let's see, maybe I could save some money on this. And my mom had said, if you sign up, if you just get 3 people to buy Shakeology, that yours is free. And I was like, what? No. I have like 500 Facebook friends. I could find 3 people. And that was my exact mentality, is I was like, I could find 3 people to buy this stuff. Like, this stuff is great. It's awesome. And that was it. And I just kind of like set out to find 3 people that were going to buy Shakeology. And when I found 3, I was like, well, if I find 3 more, then Brett can drink it. My husband, he can drink it too. And then we can get both bags for free. And then if I get more than 3 more people, then maybe I'll make a little bit of money. And that was really my mentality. It was very, very organic how I kind of got into all this. I did not start it as a business. And it wasn't until I was already signed up as a coach, and they had all those success stories in the back office. People like Mike Ryan, people like Tommy Migrant, people like Barbie Decker, that there were all these success stories back there. And I was like, I can do this. Like, these people sound just like where they were is where I am now. We're struggling. My husband has a good job, but we're still paycheck to paycheck financially. And nothing, we really couldn't ever get ahead. And I was kind of like, what, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this to, bring him home. He works 80 hours a week, most weeks, 60 to 80 hours a week. He traveled 8 months out of the year last year. I don't want that. We want him home. So I really was just like, I'm going to do this. And I just went all in. And I feel like it's very important to say that I really did not have upline help. I didn't have training. My mom, gosh, at the time, she's much better now on social media, God bless her. But when my mom signed up, she didn't know the difference between her wall and her newsfeed on Facebook. So she was no help with trying to, get me started. She was like, I think there's like training videos or something that you can watch. And this was actually right before the Coach Training Academy that they just got rid of. There were other blocks of videos in there that were terribly disorganized, and it was very hard to kind of navigate your way around. So she wasn't much help. She was brand new too. And her upline, who also was no longer with Beachbody, was very much into Narium. So she really was not working Beachbody. And I didn't know, because I was brand new, that I had a Star Diamond upline that I could go to for help. So I really just was kind of like, let me just Google and YouTube pretty much everything about coaching. And that's really how I kind of, found my feet. It really was very, I just kept sharing what I liked about Shakeology on Facebook. And that really was how my business started. And once I started reading the compensation plan and reading about, how we got paid and the rank advancements, I was like, okay, so I want to get to Emerald, and then I want to get to Diamond. And then if I get to 2-star Diamond, then they start to give me all this money. So like, this is what I want to do. And this is where I need to go. And it really just came down to how bad do you want it? I mean, it's very simple when it all boils down to consistency. But the problem with consistency is that it sounds super simple, but 98% of Beachbody coaches in the network are not doing what needs to be done every single day. And that really, I feel like, is the absolute biggest difference. So we talk about the vital behaviors. And I know as I say the vital behaviors, everybody's going to kind of like roll their eyes and be like, we know what the vital behaviors are. But the thing is that they're called vital behaviors for a reason. I mean, Anna, you were a nurse. We talk about the vital signs. You talk about your blood pressure, your heart rate, everything like that. That's what keeps you alive. The vital behaviors are what keep your business alive. If you don't do the vital behaviors, that's when your business will plateau. That's when it will fall flat. And every time you fall back or you lose that momentum, it's twice as hard to get that momentum back and really try to keep pushing. So the idea is to never lose it. Even if you plateau a little bit, stay the course. Don't ever try to pull back on what you're doing, because that's really when your business slows down and you notice such an effect on it right away. And I think that the problem is that when we are pushing and we are consistent with that effort, it's not instant. We see those results 3, 6, 9, 12 months down the road. But if you pull back on your business, you see that result instantly. So what I kind of want to talk about is how I really drilled down into the vital behaviors and how I really made sure that I kept consistency in my business. And obviously our first behavior is inviting. And there's so much that goes into inviting, because you're not only talking about inviting people, but you're talking about just sharing everything. You're talking about inviting to challenge groups. You're talking about inviting people to try Shakeology. You're talking to people about the business opportunity. And I have a lot of coaches, and I have them on my team too, that they're afraid to share the business opportunity. And what I always say to them is, well, what would happen if your coach was afraid? What happened if your coach was afraid to share the opportunity with you? Where would you be? If Anna had that fear and she was like, you know what, I can't do that. I'd rather just run challenge groups and have challengers. And I don't want to build coaches because I'm afraid to share the opportunity. None of you guys would be here. And, what moves us forward is fear. And it's important that we kind of look that in the face. The worst that somebody's going to do is tell you no. And for me, I never accept no as a no. Never, ever, 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 ever. I may move on and come back to them, but I never write anybody down as a no. So the really important thing is that you have a huge list of prospects. Depending on what your goals are, you always want to have an absolute bare bones minimum of 50 people in your pipeline, because you're constantly inviting people. So you want to make sure that pipeline is always full, because when that pipeline dries up, that's when we start to see that plateau and that pullback in our business. And like I said, you may not notice the impact of inviting 50 people right away, but down the road, you'll see that impact. But if you invite 10 people and then stop, your business is going to come to a screeching halt. So you always have that pipeline. It's super, super important. Ask for referrals, which is a huge thing. And that is super scary. And I still get scared at that. But I find some people I'm better with asking for referrals than others, but you really want to try to ask everybody. And a great way that I present the opportunity to people who I think would be fantastic coaches but aren't interested is I ask them for a referral first before I even present the opportunity to them. And I usually say something like, hey, you probably are not interested in this, but I have this really great opportunity for somebody. I have a spot that opened in my business. The coach doesn't want it anymore. There's already 60 coaches placed under this coach. Do you know anybody who would like to capitalize on that opportunity and really earn some money? And they're like, well, yeah, I would. That's a great way to kind of go around people to get them to say yes to listening to the opportunity. If you're really rough around the edges on referrals, last March, I don't remember when, but it was right before we went on the cruise. Last March, Lindsay Caterino did a whole wake up call on referrals. It's fantastic. She got her 2 rock star coaches through referrals. I think they're both like 11 star, 10, 11 star, through referrals. So your next rock star coach could be 1 person away or 2 people away from you. So it's super important that you don't leave that market, untapped. When I invite to challenge groups, I always tell my challengers, please feel free to add any friends that you want, even if they just want to observe. Why? I always make sure I send all of their friends friend requests so that they're connected with me. Am I going to reach out personally and invite them right away? No, but they'll see my posts. I'll start to like their stuff. I'll start to comment on their stuff. That's how we form these relationships with people. That's how we broaden our circle, so that when they start to come to groups, they'll invite their friends. That's how we keep that pipeline always full. Another thing that's super important is follow-ups. There are so many coaches that don't follow up. And that is huge. And that goes back to what I was talking about when I said, I don't ever, ever, ever put anybody down as a no. So I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you're pen and paper people. I don't know if you are electronic people. I've tried a lot of things, a lot of different systems to kind of keep everybody straight. I tried just like Eric Worre, if you bought his GoPro book when it first came out, you got that great PDF to put your contact list on, and you could print it out. And it had all these little boxes to fill everybody's name in. I tried that. It didn't work. I tried like index cards. That was a total bust. I tried Excel. I'm not good with it. I'm good if somebody hands me the spreadsheet and tells me to put stuff into it. I'm not good with creating them. I'm like a total mess. So I really have tried everything. And I even tried Shailene's app, Awesome Note, that's on your phone. That was great for my to-do list, but I never opened the app. It was like I had the app on my phone and I never used it. So a really great thing that I found that worked for me is this app called Asana. I don't know if any of you have heard of it. Do you use it?
Everybody. Okay. I see Michelle Butts laughing. I like listening to you, and I had to unmute myself so that I could break into this because this is the funny. Thank God you said this, because the theme of the team in the last couple of weeks is that yours truly. Now, granted, you've been a coach for a couple of years now. Try 6 years of doing exactly what you just said. No joke. I could pull out my index card thing here. I just came across it. All my drawers full of notebooks, my Google Doc spreadsheets, my Excel spreadsheets, my other notebooks, my blah, 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 blah. And then finally, I think I posted on the wall. Finally, it hit me. And now this team is like Asana crazy. So I'm so glad that you said that.
Isn't it the best thing ever?
I'm like, yes. Okay, I'm going to be quiet now, but I just had to try.
No, that's okay. No. But seriously, that's like, I'm good with spreadsheets. If somebody gives me the whole sheet and I just have to input the information. If I have to try to create something on my own, not going to happen.
And the other thing I want to point out too is that the important thing, and these guys know this too, is because we had the other day, actually it's probably been a few weeks, Sarah did our call, and Carly Zelcarlo was at her house. And I pulled her into the call, the last 10 minutes of the call, and I said, okay, you tell us how you get 70 Success Club points. And the number one thing she said was follow-ups. So this is why Anna doesn't get 70 Success Club points, because Anna was all over the place with follow-ups, and I lost people left and right. And I shared that in my team page today too. I lost somebody because the last time I talked to that person was a year ago, because I did not stick with one system. So I am backing you up 100% on this one.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's it. And you know what? I don't get 70 Success Club points a month. I kind of wish I did, but I don't. I feel like I don't know how. Well, Carly is young and she's not married and she doesn't have kids. And I feel like that's a huge difference. Not to say that you can't do it if you're married with kids, but
no, I know that she works lots of hours.
She works very hard, and she works a lot of hours. And there's a few. Look, I didn't join this business to work 12 hours a day. Let's just put it that way. So if you guys are familiar with Asana, you know how fantastic it is. I don't know how all of you use it. What I do is I create a project in Asana and I call it follow-ups. Super simple. So when you can put the tasks into Asana, each task for me is the name of somebody in my pipeline. Super easy. So the great thing about it is I have their name. I can put in what I chatted with them about, what's going on in their life. I talked to, Andrea today. Andrea is really crazy with school. She's waiting for a letter to get into, her RN program in May. And she's kind of crazy and she's worried about signing up because she's not done with school yet. Or so-and-so wanted to get their 21-day fix pack, but they busted their tire on a pothole from all the snow. So we have to wait 2 weeks, follow back up with them, blah, blah, blah. So, hi, she's so cute. So the cool thing about it is you can tag everybody, like you can tag your tasks. So I will label them usually with the month I started talking to them. Like if I have been talking to them since October or whatever, I can label them if they are a customer prospect, if they are a coach prospect, if they are a potential coach, meaning they reached out to me about the coaching opportunity. And then I slap a due date on them. Fantastic. So if somebody says, follow up with me in 2 weeks, or I know the refresh is on special, but I can't get to it right now, I make a point that the last 2 or 3 days of the month, I always come back to them and I let them know, well, the first falls over a weekend, so you probably could still get it on Sunday kind of thing. Those people that tell me flat out no, they don't come off my list. They get a due date of like 3 months out, and then I circle back to all of them. So the great thing about that is you can always go back. When I log in each day, I see who I have to talk to that day. We have to make sure I follow up with that day. And I love that it syncs instantly with my iPhone, my iPad. It's on my computer. One thing that was so annoying about Google Drive is if it's on your phone, it's not the right format, and it's like a whole pain in the ass kind of thing. And I never got the hang of Evernote. I know some people love it. I tried it. I just don't get it. It's not for me. And Asana seems to work really well. And the nice thing about that is as you're organizing challenge groups, you can kind of collude with other coaches, and everybody can kind of have access to that same project. So if you're talking about doing, like a diamond dash together, or a bunch of you diamonds want to get together and do an emerald group for all of your coaches, you can kind of all get together and have all of that stuff right in one space. So it's super, super easy, and everything is kind of streamlined, into one spot to really help you. So, that's what I use. And it really has proven to be, for me, the best thing, because I'm always on the go. I'm always doing a million things. So if I get done at the gym and I have time before preschool pickup, I can just go there and sit in my car and, blow through 10 or 12 follow-ups on my phone, in 20 minutes, and just send some messages and kind of get through to people. So that's a huge thing. Our other vital behavior, obviously, is being a product of the product. Look, we all love Shakeology. We all love it. My feed is cluttered in the morning of everybody's pictures of their shake, which is fantastic. We all love it. I love seeing new recipes for it. But why do you like it? Share why you like it. That's a huge thing for me. I did not have a weight loss transformation story. What I did have was a story about what Shakeology did for me and did for my family. And that's something that I always continuously share. After I delivered our second daughter, I had to go for blood work for our life insurance. And I have never really struggled with my weight. I had those, 10 or 15 vanity pounds, as we like to call them, after I had my second daughter, that I really wanted to lose. But, I had been thin, I had been athletic, most of my life. And having blood work done, my cholesterol was 200. And I always ate pretty healthy. I mean, we eat out, we grab fast food every once in a while, nothing terrible. And I remember calling my dad and him being like, yeah, all of our cholesterol is just genetically high. There's nothing you can do about it. I've been on Crestor for years. And I'm like, why did nobody tell me this? And I started drinking Shakeology, and I had no idea that Shakeology would help my cholesterol. I had no idea. My husband was put on blood pressure medication about 6 months after I signed up as a coach. And I was like, nope, you're just going to lose weight, and you're not going to take this medication. It's not going to happen. And I said, we're both going to go for blood work, and then we're going to do the ultimate reset. That's what we're going to do. And we went for blood work, and in 6 months of drinking Shakeology, my cholesterol dropped from 200 to 147 by doing nothing else to my diet except maybe having fast food a little less than once a month, and drinking Shakeology. So that was a huge thing for me to share that with people. So share why you like Shakeology. Share what it does for you, what it does for your body. I share all the time. My husband did the reset and then continued to drink Shakeology for 8 solid weeks after the reset. And in that 9-week period, he lost 45 pounds, and he's kept it off for a year and a half now. So that's huge. He came off that medication. He doesn't need that medication. His blood pressure is at a healthy level. He has more energy most of the time when he's not working 80 hours a week. But, I share that kind of stuff. I share that, the flu will rip through my house, or the stomach bug will rip through my house, and I don't get sick because of the adaptogens that are in Shakeology. People take our immune systems for granted, and they think, well, I was always sick as a kid, I'm always going to be sick now. That's not how it has to be. If your body is healthy, your body can fight off pretty much anything. If my kids are sick and they don't want to eat, they'll always drink a shake. I know that they're getting their nutrients. My younger daughter, her GI specialist prescribed her vegan Shakeology because she had such issues as a young toddler with her GI tract. A probiotic alone wasn't doing it. And I brought him our vegan packets, and I was like, can I give her this? What will this do? And he was like, it can't do anything. It's not going to hurt her. Give it to her. And she had been on adult doses of Miralax 3 times a day. 3 weeks of drinking Shakeology, gone. She just didn't need it. Her GI tract needed whatever enzymes are in Shakeology. A probiotic just wasn't cutting it. So those are things that I share. Share what Shakeology has done for you. Share the energy that you have because of Shakeology. Share, if you have a friend who, was able to lose weight by integrating Shakeology into their diet, somebody who's been able to come off of blood pressure medication, somebody who's been able to come off of cholesterol medication, somebody who just feels better because they're drinking it every day. Simple things like, I'm sitting on the couch at night now and I don't have cravings for food because I used to be a night snacker. All that simple stuff that we really take for granted because we've been drinking Shakeology for so long. Remember why you loved Shakeology so much. Remember those first few weeks of drinking it, what your body felt like and how excited you were to share it with people. And that really is, it's our marquee product for a reason. It is it's the best thing that's out there. It's the best thing on the market. So that's a huge thing. I don't get flustered when people will ask, well, how does it compare to, the big thing now is isogenics? Well, it doesn't compare to isogenics because it's not. Plain and simple. The people from isogenics will use a few keywords: organic. They're golden cows. They're produced their fantastic way, protein. They don't have what Shakeology has. And that's what makes us unique. And that's what we need to embrace. I'm sure isogenics is great. I don't know. I've never tried it. It's not for me. Shakeology is what makes my body feel good. So that's what I use. And I know we all slack on personal development from time to time. For me, in the beginning as a coach, it was always the first thing I kind of shoved to the side. And as soon as you have a rough week or two in your business, you're like, oh, I don't think I've done any personal development in the last week. And it's so important. It's probably the most important of the vital behaviors. And I feel like it's the first one that we all kind of take for granted, because it's really hard to help other people. It's really hard to be a leader and lead your team if you're not working on yourself and you're not able to lead yourself. And until you are really, really good at working on you, it's really, really hard to help people work on them. And that probably was one of the hardest lessons that I really had to learn, because personal development was always something I would like push to the side if I didn't have time at the end of the night, or I got up late in the morning and I just wanted to work out before the kids got up. But it's super important. And there's so many things you can do to make your personal development go like a little quicker during the day. For me, it's Audible. I always have, I have earbuds all over. I drive my husband crazy. There's freaking earbuds all over my house. I feel like I have a set in every room. So I use Audible. It's a huge time saver for me. I'll pop headphones in while I'm cooking dinner, or on Sundays or Mondays while I'm meal prepping for the week. If we're in the car and the kids want to watch, a DVD, I'll, pop my headphones in and, I'll listen, or I'll, put the phone on, put it on. And, if you guys are pressed for time, check the success tab in the back office. I mean, we pay for that every month. There's great tips in there. Those are super, super important. There's so many helpful tips, and there's so many books that go so quickly. Put the Kindle app on your phone, and you can, flip back and forth from your computer to your iPad to your phone. So you always have a personal development book that is kind of like with you no matter what. I keep an extra book in my car. I actually have Tony Horton's book that we won a couple of months ago. It's in my car. Dave Ramsey's book that we won a couple of months ago. Entre Leadership, I have in my car as an extra. But, super important that you're always working on yourself. And that can be anything from reading a book about working on yourself, something like, like John Maxwell, or something like Jen Sincero's book, or something more business oriented, like Eric Worre or Brian Carruthers or Brian Tracy or something like that. It doesn't always have to be really, really dry books. So pick something that's going to speak to you. Just because other people think it's an amazing personal development book doesn't mean it's going to have the exact same effect on you. And I think that that's really important. I had a lot of books that were like recommended to me as soon as I signed up as a coach, and I kind of like very begrudgingly kind of got through them. And then I won a copy of John Maxwell's 15 Laws of Growth. And to me, that is like one of the best books ever written. I have it on Audible. I listen to it probably once a month, once every couple of months. I'm always going back to it. It has so many great lessons, and it's just a book that makes you feel better. And I love it. It speaks to me. It may not speak to all of you in the same way, but it's a fantastic book. So I think basically, I don't know. I mean, to sum it up, really the important thing is to make sure that you're always following up with people. And I know that Anna wanted me to touch really quick on how I pushed for Elite, and you probably all will want to strangle me. I really almost had enough points my first year as a coach and didn't know it until the end of the year. I started getting those emails that we all get once we get to Diamond. I had no idea what they were, could not figure them out to save the life of me. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. I just get these emails every month. No clue what they were. And Christy Curtis is a very close friend of mine. She's cross-line from me. And she had been Elite the year before. And I had said to her, I'm getting these emails and I don't know what they are. And she's like, oh my gosh, they're Elite emails. Really watch them at the end of the year, because they'll put your ranking on it and where you fall in the whole network. And I was like, really? That's really cool. So I could see where I am, like among all of the coaches. And she said, yeah, let's watch them at the end of the year. If you really should push for Elite next year. And I was like, I don't even know what that is. To me, it was something that was so foreign that I didn't think it would be something that I could attain ever, let alone the next year. And she was like, well, you have to be 5-star. And I was like, well, that won't happen, but let's see what happens. So I sat down with her in November and we looked at my points, and she was like, but you really have enough coaches that are hitting Success Club that if you really started right in the beginning of the year, you could do this. In 2013, you had to have 100 points to hit Elite. I finished 2013 as a diamond coach with 97 elite points without knowing what I was doing. A lot of that comes from your ATV, your very first year as a coach, because you have nothing to compare it to from the year before. But I had a game plan. And if you're pushing for elite, that is the most important thing, is to have a plan. I made a very conservative plan and said I was going to sign however many new coaches. I think I said 3 new coaches every month and have 3 coaches that counted for elite Hit Success Club every month, starting in January. And then I kind of like ramped it up as the year went on. And if you do those 2 things, then your ATV will grow very organically. Unless your ATV is huge, in which case I can't help you because mine is not. But the important thing is to have a game plan. We've been really, really blessed by corporate this year that they have posted those elite trackers. Mine was in like chicken scratch on like a notebook, a whiteboard, and kind of like stuck up. I had one upstairs in my bedroom. I had one downstairs in my office. And I am like a whiteboard freak, if you will. I have whiteboards all over my office downstairs. So somebody's waving. So I have whiteboards downstairs. I have, I track my elite points. I track the Success Club points of the team. I track the new coaches of the team. What else is on there? The coaches that are pushing for diamond. I have my personally sponsored coaches. I have like honestly, if I took pictures of my office, it's like a big old mess of whiteboards. But that's really helpful for me because if you're a visual, you could kind of see exactly where you're at. So if elite or premier is something that you are pushing for, use those goal guides because those things are fantastic. I wish they had those last year. I felt like it would have alleviated a lot of headaches for me. At this time of year when we're still in the first quarter and trying to figure out how the year is going to go. If you haven't decided if you're going to push, it's not too late, but make a decision. It's definitely not too late. There are people that decide in June that they're going to make a run for it and still can kind of, pull out the points. So it's possible for anybody. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I am not special by any means. I am just somebody who decided that I was going to go and do it. And I got up early, not always. I stayed up late, always. I am not a morning person. I don't pretend to be. I hate getting up early. I'm married to a morning person. It drives him crazy. But I stay up late and work long after my kids are in bed. I work during nap times. I really don't watch a lot of TV because I just feel like I would rather work. The other thing is I don't take days off. I know everybody says you should take the weekends off. You should spend time with your family. When I say I don't take days off, I mean, I'm always posting on Facebook. I'm always making sure that I'm there, letting people know what I'm doing on the weekends with my family. I always will check emails. I always will check my team page. I always will follow up with people who I know wanted to take care of stuff before the end of the week. I won't spend hours working, but I'll give an hour on a Friday night and an hour on a Saturday night. I have little kids. My husband always works. I have nothing better to do anyway. But I mean, that's really it. The fortune is all in the follow-up, guys. If you can follow up and stay consistent with all of it, you're doing better than 97% of the coaches out there. And that's really all that you need to be doing.
Okay, I'm unmuted. I'm dying. All of us on this call in here are dying laughing because you are my flipping clone.
Do I sound like you?
You are me. I swear it is. If you check the chat, it is so.
Oh my God, I'm reading it now. It's hysterical.
Funny.
You guys are great.
Because every single thing you said was me. It like your earbuds around the house. Oh my God, like everywhere I had earbuds. And then, so everybody kind of knew that. And I said, oh my God, you're my clone. And then when you said the whiteboards, I didn't even need to say it because everybody knows in my office there are whiteboards.
Oh, they're all over I'm at my table now. I'm at my dining room table now, but downstairs, yeah, they're all over the place.
And then you talk about, you don't take a day off. I don't take a day off. I will say I don't sit at this desk on Saturday and Sunday necessarily like I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but hello, At
We
work.
always have the phone. We're always
Right.
working.
My husband's going to go play hockey now. I'm going to put the kids to bed. And what am I going to do? I'm going to work. It's Sunday, So it's just funny because you are so my clone. And then with the whole Asana thing, I'm dying. I'm just dying.
I will take that as a huge compliment.
Oh,
I did see a question in there that somebody had about Success Club.
yes. That Janae asked. She asked if it's crunch time at the end of the month and you haven't hit Success Club 10, what do you do to make it happen?
Oh, that's kind of a loaded question.
It's good timing because it's the 22nd.
It is good timing because it's the 22nd.
Yes.
My advice is get all 10 points in the first 10 days of the month, and then you don't have to worry. But we all know that doesn't always happen. Especially this month. This is a weird month. I don't know if it's weird for you guys. It's weird for our whole team. I call it Team Cup hangover.
Yeah. I'm experiencing that too. I'm at 1 right now. So
I had 2 up until, what day is today? Sunday? Up until I think Wednesday.
Yeah. See, you're my clone.
Finally just got to 10 yesterday. And
okay, so what would you say because I know you're probably like me, you're like, oh my gosh, it's the 20. What the heck? Why am I only here?
Oh, it drives me crazy if I don't have them.
How do I push myself to make sure it happens?
If I don't have them by the 15th, I really start to kind of freak out a little bit. So what I do is follow up. I circle back to everybody. Mm-hmm. I go back to everybody. I bump up my 5-day Shakeology challenges, which everybody does. I can't stand them. Honestly, if you want my honest opinion on them, I can't stand them. They're a lot of work. But you get results out of them most of the time when you run them. But they're a lot of work to do. So I don't like to do them all that often. Mm-hmm. I tend to promote a 21-day bikini body challenge and sling the 21-day fix because we all know that is come on, it's like the greatest program we've ever had. Yeah. It's like this fantastic thing. Yeah. I do that. I talk a lot about the refresh, people wanting to get a jump start. If they have, it's March, it's going to be coming into April. We're going to be having bridal shower season and wedding season, and who wants to, jumpstart themselves before they have to go to all these little events. Yeah. Who wants to, jump, anybody's going away for spring break in a couple of weeks. This is a great opportunity for them. That's really important. I always will, usually at the end of the month, if it's really close to the end of the month, like the 25th, and I still don't have points, I tend to do a little raffle. I'll offer, anybody who will get, picks up 30 days of my favorite meal of the day will get, samples and 2 additional flavors, and I'll pop a couple of packets, and people love free stuff, guys, even if it's crap. It's amazing what people will do to get one of those free shaker bottles that now come with a 21-day fix. I have a bajillion of them in my house. They're everywhere. But those are great little giveaways. We do a business opportunity call every single week, like clockwork. Every Tuesday we do a business opportunity call. And at the end of those calls, I always talk about what our challenge pack specials are. I always let the people on the calls know that, if they're ready to enroll, they'll get a special bonus if they enroll that night off the call. And it's usually a shaker cup, or if they enroll with a 21-day fix, I'll send them some packets, stuff like that, because that kind of creates that urgency. And we also let them know that the sooner they get in, the sooner they can get their business started. Mm-hmm. Because we always have training running, and we want to make sure that they get started off on the best possible foot. Which is a great thing. The other thing, and Anna, I don't know if you've rolled this out to your team yet. Were you on the call that Bob and Keith did last week?
Yes, we are rolling out pieces of it right now. This is actually a lot of fun. We're doing the Emerald, and then within that Emerald training, we're talking about the 3 for 3. Is that what you're?
Yeah, so that's a great thing. And that's really what I found to be actually very successful this month. We haven't rolled it out to the whole team yet. Yeah. Because I was trying to find a smoother. You kind of
touched on it when you first started sharing your own journey.
Yeah, and that was my mom. And when Bob said that on the call, and I was like,
will you, because some of these, because actually I'm actually sharing that on my day, which is I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. So it'll make more sense. But if you can kind of go over that real quick.
Yeah, sure. So when you guys remember when I was talking about my story and I said that when I signed up, my mom was like, oh, if you could just get 3 people to buy Shakeology from you, then your shake is free. And I was like, what? Like that's crazy. Like that's unbelievable. And I think that's a big misconception that people have is they think that if they sign up to be a coach, they have to like sling Shakeology. They got to like hustle these programs to make like a $5 and $10 commission. And you're like, these commissions are like a decent chunk of change. So Bob Lucido and Keith Callahan were kind enough a couple of weeks ago to do a call for a whole bunch of us on a couple of the main reasons why their team has had the crazy amounts of success that they've had over the last few years. And a big thing of theirs was their Refer 3 program. So this is a great thing for anybody. It's an even better thing for your discount coaches because it really will help with the volume. A lot of times we get these discount coaches that say, I just want to drink the shake. I don't want the business. I don't want the business. And you know that they would be like this rock star coach if they just took 5 minutes to like listen to what you had to say. But a lot of them don't want to be hassled with trying to figure out their website or things like that. So what I've started doing is just telling my coaches that want to sign up for the discount, well, we have this great program. You don't have to do anything. If you refer 3 people, you'll make enough back to pay for your Shakeology. Refer 3, get yours free. Super simple. So the great thing about this is they're just customer orders. Tell them to refer the people to you, and you just give them your coach's website to order from. Plain and simple. I've just been asking them, just send me a copy of your order confirmation when you get it by email so I can make sure that your order went through. Simple as that. So maybe they'll offset their shake by $30 a month. Maybe they'll get 2 people to order. Maybe they'll get 3 people to order and completely make back their Shakeology commission. Either way, it's a huge way to build volume for your team. You're talking extra PV coming up from these discount coaches who are only generating 90 points a month. Now you've got 360 points a month from each of your discount coaches if they refer 3 people. That works out for so many different people. They get their shake for free. They're inclined to buy more product when they're not paying for their shake. You get more volume. You have people who are then able to drink Shakeology. There's so many people that I find that they're like, yeah, I probably should refer to people at work, but I just don't want a business to run. And I'm like,
it's perfect.
I tell them all the time, look, like you can gladly refer them to me and I'll take the commission. But I mean, wouldn't you rather them order under you? Wouldn't you rather just offset your costs? And I say that to them. Right. And then they're like, well, hold on a second. And that's a great way that I get people to sign up as discount coaches too, by the way.
And that's also, for those that are on this call who are pushing for Emerald. I mean, it's a great way to get your first, besides for your spouse or your significant other, which we always say is number 1. It's that second coach. It's a perfect way to do it because not only are you creating a coach that has volume that will help you when you're an Emerald and you're cycling, but you're creating someone that's a loyal customer who will stay active as a coach. And that's exactly what you want. So even though they're a discount coach, they're an active coach that will continue to help you grow in rank as well as volume. It really is a win-win.
It really is. We really haven't rolled it out to our whole team yet. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to do this. I'm probably overthinking it, but I have a lot of coaches who I feel like are going to ask way too many questions about something very simple. So I'm kind of being
that's why we're bringing it up when it comes to Emerald, and why Emerald is important. And here's an easy way to do it. And I think that the more people talk about it, the easier it is to come up. And if that's the team culture, then it's just like anything. We've grown in our culture where, it was like, okay, Success Club. And that was a common theme. And now everybody talks about Success Club, but that wasn't always the case. And it's just common for everybody to hit it now. Or want it. So the same thing for Emerald. And then it will be the same thing for this, Refer 3. It will just be so common that everybody will grow in volume. But it is a really, I started using it for those challengers that just don't want to do the business. And I run into that all the time. And I kick myself for not bringing this up earlier.
Yeah, it was kind of like they said that, and I was like, where the hell have I been? Like, like that was how I signed up. So how could I not remember that?
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, that's a huge thing. And I think that to be able to do that is great for so many reasons. You know, you'll be able to hold these people as active coaches. I mean, so many times we see coaches, they sign up their spouse and then a discount coach to get to Emerald. And 5 weeks later, that discount coach is going inactive, or 10 weeks later, that discount coach is going inactive. So if they're making money, they have an incentive to stay.
Exactly.
And if they do quit, then you get their customers anyway.
Exactly.
I mean, potato, potato. But, you know, so that's a huge thing. I mean, we talk about, you know, trying to build for volume and building your team. And that is a really great way to do it. And so I've started bringing it up to people, and I put it in the email, like in the monthly emails to my customers, like they're with the challenge pack specials. I keep saying, you know, remember, if you are an active duty military or a veteran now, you can save 25% on all of your orders simply by asking me how to do it. You are also eligible to participate, any Shakeology drinkers, and I put it out to my customers too. Any Shakeology drinkers are eligible to participate in our Refer 3 and Get Yours Free program. If nothing else, they're going to reply back and be like, what is this?
Yeah.
Because I want to know. And I tell that to people all the time if they're asking me in, you know, Messenger on Facebook about, you know, well, how much does Shakeology cost and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, it's the same objections that we all get. And I always say, well, you know, you can sign up and you can get the discount. That way, you know, if you have friends who want to drink the shake, they can order through you instead of me. I mean, you could pay full price and then they could order through me and I'll take the commission, but you could get a discount and they could order through you too. I mean, it's up to you, whichever one you want. And they're like, well, I want the discount. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I still don't understand people who pay full price for Shakeology, but that's me.
Right, I know. And I think the old way of thinking was that you didn't have that conversation with people about having a discount because then you would have a whole team of discount coaches. I think this is taking it a step further, because in the old days, we would say, well, you can get a discount on your product, but we didn't take it to the step further. We said, okay, well, if you bring your referrals to me, I'll take care of the conversation, right, in your account. And that in itself benefits everybody. There is nothing wrong with signing up a discount coach in that way. You know,
no, there's not at all. I mean, I kind of really, anybody who wants to sign up, I'll sign them up, whether they want the discount or they want to work the business, because you never know.
Yeah, exactly.
Two of my diamonds were discount coaches.
I was a discount coach.
I was a discount coach. And, you know, it's very organic how that happens. You know, they sign up for the discount and then they realize the opportunity that's there when people start asking them about their results. So I never really discount like a discount coach, because you really never know what that opportunity is going to do for them.
Right.
So I always present it that way to everybody and let them know, like, look, you can work this at whatever pace you need to. And if you feel like you want to work on you first, it's fantastic, but save a little money while you're doing it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that I think is huge. This program is a really great thing. If you can explain it to your discount coaches, you know, it's fantastic. I saw somebody ask about the military discount. So I propose it as a military discount. I don't say that military can be coaches for free. When they ask about it, I do, but I post it as it's a 25% military discount. And when they ask how they get it, I explain to them, well, we get you set up with what I call a wholesale account, because they're not paying a fee on it. Mm-hmm. And your business fee is waived as a thank you for your service to our country. Mm-hmm. And then you're eligible to save 25% on all your purchases with us. Mm-hmm. There's no monthly fee. As long as every 2 years you send in your whatever. I'm sorry, I mean no disrespect. I know nothing about the military. Yeah. About all of those like different letter forms. As long as you send in whatever forms they need every 2 years, you get your discount for forever. or if you're a veteran. So that's a great thing. So if you have military friends, they should all be signed up. Mm-hmm. Unless they're in Germany. Don't sign them up if they're in Germany. You'll get in trouble. There's like this huge law with the supplements in Germany. Don't sign people up from there. We'll get in a lot of trouble.
Learn something new every day. Okay, so I love everything that you share because one, it just shows, it's the same thing that I share, which is awesome. But I wanted to also say two things. One, I think that what has been consistent across the board with all of our guest speakers, who are all obviously amazing coaches, is that you never accept a no as a no. Mm-hmm. And Carly said the exact same thing in the exact same way. I never, ever. And I did the same thing. And we actually did a group this month, which was a total failure because it was a go for no group. It was a 100 no group. Mm-hmm. And nobody was getting no's because they were like, well, we're just going to follow up with them later. Like, this group is a failure because we don't say that it's a no, because it is simply not your time. That's it. So I love that you shared that as well, because
it's absolutely not their time. And that is something that I really explain to them when they finally do come around. And I'm like, it just wasn't your time before. It's very funny that you said that. I have a girl who maybe 2 weeks after T25 came out, she messaged me. She lives local here in town. I don't know many people in my town, but she was one girl I did know. And she started asking me about it. She's one of those girls who she's tried like everything under the sun. She like used to like consign clothes out of her home. She did like a craft thing for kids in the summer, all this little like mishmash stuff to like, earn extra money while she was at home. And I had said to her, like, you'd be a great coach. Like, she knows freaking everybody. And, she would ask about Shakeology, and she was really interested in T25, and one of those people that it was like the price. And she would kind of come back to me every few months and ask about it. And, we went through it with T25. We went through it with P90X3 when that came out, again with the 21-day fix. It was like every time a program came out, she got all excited and then was like, I don't know that I have the money for it. And I had a testimonial from a coach on my team who had done Weight Watchers for years and couldn't believe the difference in the 21-day fix compared to her experiences with Weight Watchers. And I posted the testimonial, and this girl, her name is Tabitha, she messaged me and she was like, I really, really need help. I'm the heaviest I've ever been not pregnant. I don't know what to do. I see the 21-day fix is $60. Does that come with everything? I think I could afford it. And I was like, you're going to pay shipping. You need Shakeology. You can't just do this. Like, you need Shakeology and you need all this other stuff and you need the support and you need the accountability. And she was like, well, if I come over later, can I buy a sample off of you? And I said, I tell you what, if you come over to my house this afternoon, I will make you a shake to try. I don't ever give people one sample. 99% of the time they will make it wrong. Don't ever give them one sample. Totally Sell them 5 days worth at a time. Totally so if you come over, I'll make you one. She shows up at my house with all three of her kids who are like maniacs. They trashed my house. They trashed my playroom. But she took 3 sips of chocolate vegan Shakeology, pulled out her credit card and said, where do I sign up?
Yeah.
It's about being ready.
Yeah.
So she wanted to get the best bang for her buck. So she signed up with Beachbody On Demand. Now she's happy. She's got 9 billion workouts to choose from. 21-day fix isn't even one of them. But, so she's like, I'm going to buy those containers and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. Mm-hmm. She's ready to go. It just wasn't her time. Mm-hmm. And that is really what you have to kind of understand. Think back to you. Think how long it took you to come around when you signed up as a coach. I have coaches say, I've been talking to this girl for 3 months and she still hasn't signed up yet. And my response is usually, well, I talked to you for 1.5 years and you just signed up.
Totally.
You have to, people have to come around.
Yeah.
And, you don't blow through everybody that you know in 3 months. You just don't. So if you feel like you talk to everybody, go back and talk to them all again.
Yeah.
That's probably the best piece of advice I can give is just go back to them.
Totally.
But don't go back with the intention of, hey, what's up? I have a 21-day fixed group starting. Just, hey, how are you? How are the kids? What's new? Follow their Facebook pages, see what's going on in their lives. And that's, really what sets us apart from all these other companies is that we're about relationships and we're not about sales. And the minute that you start to see people as dollar signs or success club points, that's when your business is going to right in the toilet.
Yep. I totally agree. Okay. I thank you so much. I have one takeaway for everybody that's on this call. I want you guys to, and I've said this, I don't know if it was a post or another call, but if you haven't done this, before you go to bed tonight, write your story of Shakeology and what it has done for you. Write it as much detail as you possibly can. Write it down, get it out of your head on what Shakeology has done for you, because maybe you've forgotten. And I do think it's incredibly important. In fact, I'm going back to sharing more and more about Shakeology on my page. I think I use Carl's example of being consistent. This is day 12. I'm going, because I think I even stopped sharing it because everybody knows I drink it, but that's not the truth. What has it done to me? Well, I needed it today because I had pizza and it, works for my digestion. So my takeaway for everybody is to go before you go to bed, write your Shakeology story and start sharing what it's done for you. It doesn't need to be a weight loss story, and share everybody else's story. So thank you again for spending your evening with us. I know it's later.
Thank you for having me. That's
late
okay. I'm gonna go to work when we hang up anyway.
There we go. I know, me too. Okay, I'm gonna take a screenshot. So don't forget. Let me pull everybody up here. And if you have your camera hidden, get your little faces up here, people. We want you in the screenshot. I don't want to look at an empty picture. There we go. All right, coming on. I see you guys. And someone jumped off.
Oh, they were all hiding. You
scare them. They jumped off. There were 18 on there. Okay, ready? Everybody ready? Everybody here? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you again, Anna.
Thank you again.